Hey guys, it's Savannah. So I just want to upload this because basically I just want to get it off my camera roll and off of my laptop because it's taking up a lot of storage. But I don't want to just delete it. So I'm going to put it up on YouTube in case I want it again. I can download it. So yeah, it's not edited or anything. It's kind of old. And I was thinking of just like deleting it and filming a new one whenever I need one, but I don't know. So I'm gonna upload this. Tell me if you like it, and if you want to see more acting things. Okay, that's it. Bye. Make sure to subscribe if you want to. I never say that, but if you want to, you can. Okay, bye. Hi, my name is Savannah. I'm going to be doing a dramatic interpretation by Barbara Park called Mick Harte Was Here, and I'll be portraying Phoebe. Just let me say right off the bat that it was a bike accident. It was about as accidental as you can get to. I mean, Mick wasn't riding crazy or dodging in and out of traffic, and both of his hands were on the handlebars and all that. His bike just hit a rock and he skidded in the back of a passing truck, and that was it. There wasn't a scratch on there. It was a head injury, period. And Mick didn't want to wear a helmet because he didn't want to look like a doofus, and not looking like a doofus was pretty important to Mick because my mother made the mistake of showing him his christening gown when he was 8 years old, and he never really got over it. So this isn't the kind of story where you meet the main character and you get to like him real well and then he dies at the end. Yes, I hate those kinds of stories. Besides, I can't think of anything worse than using my brother's accident as the tear-jerking climax to some tragic story. I don't want to make you cry. I just want to tell you about Mick. But I thought you should know right up front that he's not here anymore. I just thought that would be fair. I'm only 10 months older than he was. I was planned, and Mick was a surprise. He loved it too. Being a surprise, I mean. He was always saying that even before he existed, he could outsmart 2 chemistry majors with birth control pills. He was really funny. We pulled some pretty big capers together. The first one, I think, was when he just started kindergarten. We just had a new driveway put in, and we wrote F-A-R-T into the wet cement. I was learning how to spell and he was just learning how to print, so it seemed like a pretty good idea. It's amazing how a little fart in the driveway can totally lose its humor the minute your father sees it. He and Mom lined us up and told us to solemnly swear to tell the complete and honest truth. And when they asked who did it, Mick took a big step forward and said, "A monkey did it." Of course, I backed him up on it, and to make the story even more believable, Mick said that the monkey's name was Zippy, and that we saved the day by chasing him all the way back to Africa. Mick was really good at doing voice impressions, by the way. We have a tape of him yelling, "I'm melting, I'm melting!" That sounds just like the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz. But even without listening to the tape, I can still remember how he sounded. People say that when someone you love dies, that you forget what their voice sounds like. But that hasn't happened yet. Not for me, at least. I can still remember Mick's voice. I can still hear him talking at school and laughing with his friends, and doing simple things around the house, like sitting at the kitchen table in the morning and eating a bowl of cereal. I have a weird kind of memory, I think. Like, I've never once been able to remember my parents' anniversary and time to buy them a card, but I can still remember the exact conversation I had with Santa Claus when I was in kindergarten. He said, "Ho, ho, ho," and I said, "Your breath smells," and he said, "Get down." It wasn't much of a chat, but the point is it happened 8 years ago, and I can still remember it like it happened yesterday. That's why it doesn't surprise me that I can remember everything about the last conversation I had with my brother before his accident. He was like, "Hey Phoebes, wait up, could you ride my bike home from school? I gotta go to Dylan Rigby's house to practice for the basketball tournament on Friday." And I said, "I can't, I have soccer practice after school." And he said, "Great, now I have to go over there all by myself and I don't even know where this kid lives. I'm gonna look like such a doofus." And I said, "Sorry, doofus." And then the last thing my brother said to me was, "Wow, Phoebe, you're so cool." And then I turned my back on him and I walked away. I didn't even say goodbye. So I'm running sprints and soccer practice when I hear the sirens, and then everything starts to play out like a movie. The old secretary lady runs over to Coach runs over to me, he puts his hand on my shoulder, and the sirens stop. And you know, I just wanted for it to not be Mick. So I did the only thing I could do. I closed my eyes and I prayed to God that Mick wasn't the one. I think I even remember praying that it was one of his friends. And then my dad comes over to me and I ask if Mick's gonna be okay, and then he just sort of cradles my face. So gently, like he thought it was gonna break. And then, in a voice so faint I can barely hear him, he says, "He's gone." That's when I saw it. The truck, I mean. And Mick's bike, still laying there in the gutter where he had fallen. I remember making a noise then. An awful noise that didn't sound like me at all. Yesterday marks the 1-month anniversary of Mick's accident. I used to think that anniversaries were made to celebrate happy things, but now I know that they're just a way of measuring time. I ran to the place of the accident. It sounds morbid, I know, but in my mind, I wasn't running to the place where he died. I was running to the last place that he had been. I just wanted to feel close to him again. Unfortunately, right across the street there were some noisy workmen banging around putting up a new set of bleachers on the soccer field. And they were setting them in concrete. It was almost dark when they finished, and I can't believe that nobody sat around to guard the wet cement. I mean, you gotta be nuts leaving wet cement in front of a junior high school, especially when this 13-year-old girl has been watching you all afternoon already with a stick in her hand. The stick was perfect too. It was small enough so that I could write neatly, but it was strong enough so that the words would be there forever. That's what's so great about cement. You know, the forever part. I was totally calm when I did it. I walked right over and I wrote H-E-R-T-E-W-A-S-H-E-R-E. Mick Harte was here. And he was. But he's gone now. But for 12 years and 5 months, my brother was the coolest guy you'd ever want to meet. And I just thought I'd tell you about him, that's all. I just thought you'd want to know.
She's a pretty